is for you to pick up the pencil and try. The fidgets, the phones, the respect and ability to come and go because you are a trustworthy, respected young adult, that can all come back. Okay? I want this to be relaxed. I hate that. I hate having to do that.
Hey, Mr. Sullivan.
Hi.
Did we do the progress check too?
We did not.
Okay, so that's okay.
I am saving the progress check too because we're going to need to review exponents again later, and that is a perfect opportunity for it.
Thank you.
Yes, I see Tweedledee and Tweedledum back there grinning at each other because you already did it, didn't you? Okay. It's over here like, ha 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 ha. Get wrecked, eh? Jeez. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there, Frank. Jeez. Okay. Well, because it scrolls in proportion to the document. Yeah. So, seriously, like my skin's crawling right now. I hate this. Y'all remember what a coordinate is?
Yes.
Could you find that on a coordinate plane? Do you remember which way goes which? Left, right, up, down? What?
Y goes up and down.
Uh-huh.
X goes left and right.
X, left and right, but which way left and right?
Negatives go left and positives go
Okay.
right.
So next to this, I want you to write two things. One, a set of axes. And next to it, I want you to put negative x, positive x. Negative y, positive y. Just to remind yourself. Okay? Another one that I've frequently done in the past, I have kids write this, x, y, and then kind of those axes as a little cheater right here, minus plus, minus plus. And you're going to see that one come back a lot. Just that little thing. Like, go ahead, get like your jail tattoo. Have someone just stick you with a needle a bunch of times. Put that on your arm, okay? It's important. Out of curiosity, because we are in, South Dakota near Sturgis. Does anyone here have a tattoo? Getting one for 16? I was just curious. My wife got one this summer to celebrate, us being vaccinated and probably not dying. She got her whole leg done. Whole thing. It's all full color, too. It took like 9 hours. Yeah.
You know how said if we passed, how those girls shaved the thing? Would you get a tattoo? Or is that too far?
Ooh. Oh.
Wait.
Oh.
We just skipped the fun. The whole day we just hung out. Somewhere just like it.
The whole room.
Wait, what are we doing?
The whole room. See or better.
Wait, what are we doing?
Tattoo?
We gotta come up with a
Deal.
tattoo.
Wait.
No, you don't decide what it is. It's on my body. No.
What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing.
You might get a tattoo.
Sign in blood. All 16 of you, see or better at the end of the semester. I will break a 37-year tradition. I'll do it. Ain't gonna be big, but I'll do it. Let's get there first, all right? Let's get there first. Jesus. All right. All right. Whoa. Okay. Math. That go for the throat, why don't you? Okay. A coordinate is an x and a y. All right. A relation. You've all heard the word relation or relate or relative, right?
Yep.
Who here's the only child?
Oh,
Oh, not quite. Okay. So, it depends how you define it, right? Family of choice. I'm a big proponent of family of choice. I would call my buddy Aaron my brother before anyone else who's actually sharing my genetic code. A relation is just a connection. That's all it is. Specifically, I want you to say it maps input to output. Input to output. Think of it like a controller mapping, right? Got a lot of gamers in here. How many of you remap the controller because you think it's really stupid to put reload on this button? Okay? Yeah, there you go.
I stick with the control.
Okay, now I may be a little outdated here, but I absolutely hated beyond hated the Turok setup for the Nintendo 64 controller. I always switched it over to 007 GoldenEye. Okay? I always reset all of my controllers to a different mapping. A relation maps. If I press this button, this is what comes out. If I pick up Jackson and I yeet him into the sibling machine,
What?
the sibling machine will say, this is my input. I shall now find the relation of who is Jackson's sibling. Okay? Like that's what it is. Input, output. Is there more than one output?
Can be.
Are you aware of more than one sibling?
Yes, sister.
Okay. So, there might be more than one output. That's what makes it a relation and not a function. We'll get to functions later. But a relation just says this input maps to that output. That's why these are all coordinates. So maybe next to it you can also write this x and the y is input, comma, output. Input, comma, output. The x is the input. I press this x button, and then it gives me the y as an output. You remember graphing last year? Remember doing that big table where you would have to find -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3?
Yes.
But you started with the x. You plugged it in and found out y. Right? This is my input. If I press the -2 button, what comes out? The relation is what maps one to the other. Okay, that input-output thing, they got fancy names. They're right here. Domain and range. Your input is called domain. Your output is called range. So I'm kind of like throwing this all over the place here. Let's make this a little prettier and say every coordinate is an x and a y, which is a input and an output, which is domain and range. Okay? I put x's in, I get y's out. Y'all are in high school, you know how this works. If you have an x, you better find out y. Ba-dum-bum. Okay? It's just they have a fancy name called domain and range. Domain is all of the x's, all of the buttons you're going to press. Range is all of the y's, all the things that come out. The way that I always thought of it was like a pop machine. Domain is the buttons on the machine. Range is the stuff it spits out. Okay? The mapping. I have the reflexes of an inbred cat and I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. You got to stop me faster. X, Y, I'll rewrite it. Input, output, domain, range. I suppose while we're at it, like this. Comma, 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 womp, womp. Yes, sir.
At the top left corner, there's still an arrow and a negative.
Yeah, there is. Does it bother you?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
Now I got it. Yeah.
So,
There's still part of it is. You're fine.
a mapping shows how the domain pairs with the range. This is your controller mapping. Right shoulder does this. Oh, come on. Okay. No, I just bumped it. I said my coordination's off. I was up till 1 last night putting in our midterm grades. So, and then Baby Bear started squawking around 4. So, big oof. My 2-year-old. He's got the sinus congestion too, and so he doesn't sleep worth a damn right now. But this is your controller mapping. -5 goes to 0 in the same way that right shoulder goes to primary fire. -2 goes to 3 in the same way that second shoulder goes to secondary fire. Right? Main gun, thump, grenade. Okay? It's this button does this thing. That is its relationship. Okay? So working with relations isn't actually that hard. It's just a matter of stating, I know what this vocabulary means. Name the domain and the range. Go back up to what we just wrote. Which of these is going to be domain? The top, because that's the x's. The x is the input. The input is the domain. So when they ask for the domain as a set, they just mean you put these little squiggle brackets on there and then say -2, 0, 2, 10, squiggle bracket. Why did I write it like that? What about the negative? Okay, you're getting warmer. They're in numerical order. You don't have to write it like that. I just prefer it that way personally. And whether you write -2, 0, 2, 10 or 2, 0, 10, -2, it doesn't matter. They're both correct. A set is just a group. Okay? If I say Geneva, Chloe, AJ versus Chloe, Geneva, AJ, it's still the same group, right? Okay.
So basically what you did is you just basically put them in order, basically.
Yep, that's all I did. I do that personally because I know it's going to be important later.
What do you mean by later?
The more we learn. Sometimes it's easier to have them in order so you don't have to go cross-eyed when you're graphing things. Okay? The range is the set of y values. So, if this is domain, then this is range. So write down all of those numbers. You see how 5 happened twice? You see how 5 happened twice?
Yup.
I didn't need to say the second part. I didn't have to say that again, did I? You heard me the first time. So when we write this, if there's ever a repeated value, I'll just say -4, 5, 6. I don't need to say 5 more than once. I don't need to say 5 more than once.
I can't see.
I don't need to say 5 more than once.
Don't say it again.
Okay. I don't know. Are you stuck on repeat? So, if you can tell me that x's and y's are domain and range, cool. That's already skill number 1. This is more vocabulary than anything else. Y'all are going to have to help me out with your printouts. Sometimes the copier makes it hard to see stuff. Can you see the coordinates on that graph?
Yeah.
On your paper?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see them up here? Because when I invert the colors, maybe orange is too close to white. Okay. We're having a little trouble. I'll darken them in. Here. Got one there. Is yellow okay? All right. So, to name the domain and range off of a graph instead of a table, you start by list all your coordinates. Maybe before I go listing coordinates, I need to remind myself that it's x, y, with the appropriate positives and negatives. So, what's this guy? Way up here. Always x's first.
4, -5.
Oh, there's -4. It was one back from that. -5 this way, 4 that way. So -5, 4. So I'll write -5, 4. Okay? Let's keep going. See this one? I went back 3, left 3, but there wasn't any up or down. So -3, 0. I went this way 3, and I didn't go up or down at all. So left is -3. I didn't go up or down, so 0. -3, 0.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay?
And then -4, -1.
I go... All right, I'm going to erase this part after I draw it, but can you almost do it like that?
Yes.
Okay. Frank over here taking forever. So since we go left 4, we're going to say left 4. Since we go down 1, we'll say down 1. Because that's what this tells us. All right, what about that last one?
2, -2.
-2, 2.
Ooh. Right? It gets a little fuzzy when they're the same number, just different signs. Is it 2 then -2, or is it -2 then 2?
It's 2, then -2.
Right? Because we go left or right first. So right 2, and then we go down 2. All right. So I got all my coordinates. All those coordinates are x's and y's, which is domain and range. So if they ask, what is the domain? I just look at all of my x's. That's all you care about, just the x's. Okay? Yep, I'm just going to put them on the paper. You don't have to put them in order. Again, I'm going to put them in order. You don't have to. But I'm going to go left to right. I'm going to say -5, -4, -3, +2. That's what I'm doing. Doesn't have to be what you do. Because a set is still a set. A range is y values. So I'm going to look at all my y's. I dislike that my board is kind of twitching and blinking. I'm going to say -2, -1, 0, and 4. Okay? But it was handy to write out all the coordinates first. Because I don't know about you, but when my eyes go over numbers, I sometimes pick up numbers accidentally. You've all been doing that when you're writing, right? The primary causes of the American Civil War were, dude, where are you going for lunch? Wait, what? Right? The same thing happens to us visually. When we see a number, but there's numbers here, as my eyes track across these numbers, I accidentally can pick them up. Okay? How many times have you been walking through the kitchen saying, I'm going to pick up my Mountain Dew? And I just grab this and keep walking because it was on the counter, and then I realized, wait a second, this isn't mine. Right? But it was a container for liquid that was near where I thought mine was. I accidentally picked up the wrong thing. The same thing happens with our brains and what we see. That's why these graph problems can be tough, because it's just a big of numbers. So it might be handy to write them out first. Then I can look at just the x's and the y's. Okay? So we did from a table, we did from a graph. Now they're going to do that mapping thing. So the first thing I got to do in a mapping is separate out my x's and y's. Hey, I told you to get... All right. X's. I don't know about you, but there's an awful lot of numbers and parentheses and commas. Does it just kind of start to jumble together after like two of them? For some of us, not everyone. So I do like PlayStation style. X, 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 X. Y, 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 Y. Okay, maybe that works for you. Maybe you use a highlighter. Maybe you shade it. Maybe you underline one and squiggle line the other. The whole lot of you are in, what? 10th grade English, that's where you start doing all the diagramming sentences, right? Like subject, predicate, adverb goes here, all that kind of stuff. Looks like Madden's football play from hell by the time you're done. Okay? Do that here. Now I know that all of my yellow ones, all of my boxes are X's. List the X values as the domain in the domain column. X is our domain. Domain is X's. So I'm going to put -4, 5, 6, 9. Again, I write mine in order. You don't have to. It's just easier if you go in numerical order later on. So I'm going to get in a good habit now. Then, list all my y values as the range in the, well, range column. So all of these y's are going to go over here. You notice that this box is smaller?
It's because there's 2 zeros.
There's a pair of zeros. I don't need to say the 0 twice. I don't need to say the 0 twice. I don't need to say the 0 twice. Okay, so I'm going to say -8, -1, 0. And then, to actually finish the mapping, it's not enough to just write the domain and range. You have to draw your arrows or lines or whatever you're going to do to show the pairs. Now, before I say anything, what do they mean? What do they mean, draw arrows to show the pairs?
You, for example, the -4, you draw arrows, -8.
Okay. Since this is a coordinate, I'm going to say -4 goes to -8. Okay? Complete your tasks. Draw the arrows, draw the lines. I swear, dude, I was down in engineering. Okay. 6 goes to 0. 6 goes to 0. Okay. 5 goes to -1. 5 goes to -1. 9 goes to 0. I'm allowed to do that. Think about a pop machine. You ever run across a pop machine that has 2 Mountain Dew buttons on it?
Yes.
Yeah. I can have 2 different buttons go to the same place. They can do the same thing. There you go. Domain and range with tables and graphs and mappings. Do you think you could do it right now, or do you want to see me do one more of them?
Can you do one more?
One more? Okay. You were pretty vocal about it. Yo, democracy doesn't work the way we say it does. The loud ones usually get their way. So since Riley was the first one to ask, which one do you want me to do?
Number.
Okay. 4's got a bunch of like repeat numbers and 3s, 9s, 0s. So Sullivan, go do 4. All right. Domain. What was domain again? X's. Okay. So I'm going to take X's, 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 X's. And I'm going to write those. -2, 1, 3, 9. So by process of elimination, if domain is the X's, range is Y's. Huh.
There's only
So what am I writing?
put one place, one day.
A 0 and a 3. I don't need anything else. So to actually finish the mapping, to actually turn the machine back on, cross your wires. Okay? -2 is supposed to go to 3, so I draw the arrow. 1 is supposed to go to 0. 9 is supposed to go to 0. 3 is supposed to go to 3.
How can you tell where they're supposed to go?
Because they're paired together in the parentheses. That's the coordinate. Yep. Now, look at the way that I just wrote it compared to what if I had just started writing things the way that it shows up and said domain here, range here, and I just wrote 3, 9, -2, 1, 3, 0, 3 I already got, 0 I already got. If I had written them that way, I'm still going to say 3 goes to 3, 9 goes to 0, -2 goes to 3, 1 goes to 0. Compare these two. They're in a different order, but they're still the same map.
That was easy.
Kind of like inverted colors. This is still the same thing that's on your paper. It's just the colors are all backwards. Okay? Yeah, you got me before I did it. Good job. Yeah. Now, some stuff will get tough in here. Like, I know the last couple of years, usually the things that kids have the most trouble with, honestly, are exponents and quadratic formula. They might be a little sketchy with some of our graphing stuff, but most of it's going to be about like this. Okay, so I did one of the 4, you do the other 3. And ask questions if you're not sure. Talk to your neighbor. You got two teachers rolling around. Ask us. So,
What did you write down for the set of? Or did you just write down x's?
well, I come back here and I say, domain is a set of the first numbers in the ordered pair, or which are
X's.
x's. So if you just say x's, I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you.
Not yet. We'll do that one together. Because that's another one of the graph ones with the dots on it, and I want to get another rep at that before setting you loose. Yay or nay?
So, how do I do this?
How do you what?
How do I do this one?
Well, you fill in the words and fill in the numbers. The domain is the set of what? We said that domain is all the
X's.
so x's.
Okay, and then
So the domain will equal list all your x's.
two. Well, I like to say like put them in order.
You do it however you're gonna do it, bud.
Yeah, that was actually pretty helpful too.
Okay.
-7, 1, 2, and 4. And then, can I get that?
Yes.
Y's.
Thank you for asking. New paradigm.
-3, 0. Because it's 2 zeros,
Yeah.
so just put 1.
That's it. The first two are just tell me the domain and range. You don't have to do anything with them.
Okay.
Okay. Yo.
Are we supposed to do this?
No, we will do number 5 together. I just wanted you to do these 4 because number 5's got the coordinates on the graph again. Okay. So just like here, you listed out your domain and range. You'll do them here. You'll just list them vertically. So domain.
That's what I was kind of curious about. If you would take that long.
4, and then do I just do the same thing for range?
Same thing for range. Now, connect your wires. Ta-da! That's it.
Thank you.
And everyone's is going to look a little bit different. Like Kevin wanted his to be in order because he liked the way I was doing that up there. So his is going to look different than yours. It's going to have crosses in there.
Yeah.
But as long as 4 goes to 1, same difference, right?
Thank you.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So does this look right?
Well, I see a 4 going to a -4. I see a 7 going to a 5. I see a -2 going to a 3. A 4 going to a 1. Skadoosh. Got it, dude.
For the final, I wasn't one of those students that wasn't trying. I was trying, but I still didn't pass.
And then we have to see what can we do differently the next time. Maybe we print your review and your quiz on separate papers so you're not flipping back and forth.
Because that's what I was doing the whole time. I was just,
Would that help? We can try that.
well, it probably wouldn't really change it because, well, it might help a little bit.
Yeah. I've had other
So
kids that
I was getting the similarities between the two, and then solving them with like solving it with the review is what I
Okay.
was doing. But
I've had other kids where we like block out the problems like with a highlighter or something so they're in like different boxes because sometimes if you see other stuff over here it distracts you. If you only focus on box, your eyes will run into that highlighter line and not go any further. It helps with some kids, especially kids with ADHD. Like there's different things we can try. All you got to do is ask, and we'll try different things.
Just
Okay?
so you know, I was trying to record it.
I believe you. I believe you.
gave it my best effort.
Okay. Cool. I even like that we got the highlighters out. Get color purdy on it. Okay. You always got that one or two kids in class that got that whole like bag full of like 50 different colors. Oh, there you go. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have not seen a paper as colorful as Kai's in probably 3 years. Yours are glorious. All right. So, I think everyone seemed to knock this out pretty quick. X, 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 X are the set of X's. So I'll write them. I like mine in order. You don't have to. Range is the set of Y's. So I'm going to have Y, 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 Y. Sound like my kid. Actually, I take that back. He hasn't hit the Y stage yet. It's just no. So we got 0. Oh, wait. If I'm going to put that in order, Dad Sullivan, I'm going to say -3, then 0, then 4. Okay, next one. Same thing. Domain is X's. You see how they run these? They like to kind of scaffold it out for you, baby steps. This is putting the training wheels on. Now I'm going to take the training wheels off, but I'm going to hold your seat. Then, all right, dude, go for it. Okay. So here I'm going to have all of my X's. I'm going to put them in order, -6, -5, a 2, and I don't have to say the 2 again, and I don't have to say the 2 again, and I don't have to say the 2 again, and I don't have to say the 2 again. All right. 2, 0, 3, -1 is just -1, 0, 2, 3. Okay, I already did 4. Can I come down here?
Yeah.
If I ever go too fast, you have to stop me. All right? Yes.
Will we be docked if we repeat like in the range? For, like,
Will we be okay? Will we be docked if we repeat it? Example. Here, what if I said -6, -5, 2, 2, and then I had -1, 0, 2, 3. And I tried to draw my mapping.
Makes it more simple.
-6 goes to 3, -5 goes to 0, 2 goes to 2, 2 goes to -1. This problem is brought to you by the Redundant Department of Redundancies.
Say again?
The Redundant Department of Redundancies.
You said that so professional.
Redundant means unnecessarily repeating. If I said Braden has shoes on and Braden has glasses, was that necessary, or could I have Englished better and said Braden has shoes on and glasses?
Or how about you just take a look and see?
Okay? Like, this is why you have lists and commas in English. So you don't have to say the thing over and over and over. I want you to just kind of back up into I'm at home with my family unit, and mom and dad are telling me, grandma's telling me, uncle's telling me what I have to get done tonight. Okay? Now, Jackson,
Yes.
I need you to take out the trash. Jackson, I need you to wash the dishes. Jackson, I need you to put the dishes away after dinner. Jackson, I also need you to wash the dishes. Jackson, I need you to put every time you do that, doesn't your blood pressure start to go up a little bit? Or could I have just said, Jackson, I'm gonna need you to put away the dishes, wash the dishes, take out the trash, that kind of stuff. Right? When you repeat things, it has more of an impact. And that's usually what you do for emphasis, too.
It basically makes it sound like you have a lot more to do than what you actually have.
Okay? So if I say this too more than once, and I said it unnecessarily, it's a lot like not simplifying an expression. How many times have we run into something like this? I don't want 5 over 20. I want 1 over 4, right? So if I'm going to simplify this, I should simplify this too. That's a really good question. Okay. And then number 3 was down here. I'll just go through that a little bit faster. X's, 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 X's. Dang, dude gets around. 2, 4, 7. And Y's, 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 Y's. Negative 4, 3. Oh, bad solid. 1, 3, 5. And then cross your wires. Negative 4 goes to negative 4. 7 goes to 5. Huh. Negative 2 goes to... Okay, there's my cross. If they all went straight across, I would have felt a little sus. So, we good? Okay. When we started playing that during the shutdown, we were playing Among Us in our game club server. And trying to explain to kids what I was doing, I swear I'm not the imposter. And my filter fails because I'm frustrated and not... Like, I was over by the door and I was trying to press the thing and it looks like the little controller thing and it looks like... Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what that is.
It looks like a hoo-hoo.
What's under your waist? No,
What?
I know what you mean. But...
There's a control panel next to a door and it was fairly suggestive. So, all right. So, domain and range, just like we did before. I see a bunch of dots. Maybe Shane doesn't see a bunch of dots, so I'm going to make them a little brighter.
Thank you.
Right? No. That's a legitimate concern. I had a girl a couple of years ago, couldn't see purple. Like legit. She had partial color blindness where she couldn't see purple. If I came up here and said like that to her, she did not register this at all.
What color would you see it? Or she would see it at all?
Bunch of dirty teenagers. Where are you going with that? Okay. But she legit couldn't see purple. So if I tried to write things in purple up here, she couldn't see it. It is a legitimate thing to say, I am having trouble with whatever you're trying to put in front of me. Can you please do it differently? That's a very legitimate thing, right? By all means, advocate for yourself. Okay.
Because black and white and orange just don't...
Yeah, they kind of blend together. So I need to write out all my coordinates. Let's see. Can I write this one? You know what? I'll even make them different colors so we know. When I say this one, what is that one?
0, 2. 2, 0.
2,
0. 0, cosine 2.
Maybe I should go back here You see how handy that thing comes in?
Positive 2.
That way 2, then no up or down. So it's 2 and then 0. Okay.
Oh, you guys are not.
Okay, there. Do the 1 to the
Okay. Okay, got Paxton over here getting all DJ on it. The right to the right. Okay, what's next? Where's the red one?
7.
7,
0.
Now, is it 7-0 or 0-7?
7 0.
Okay. Do this one.
Positive 5.
Okay, so I know there's a 4 and a 5. Like I can see the lines on there.
4.
But
5.
see how I go this way 4, then this way 5? Right 4, up 5. Follow that mapping. Put this in front of you every time. Go get that as a tattoo. Okay?
Why don't you get that as a tattoo?
Because I know it. If I was going to get a tattoo, it'd be like my kids' social security numbers, my anniversary, my wife's birthday.
What about your
Like,
credit card number, security code?
no, because that can change. Of course, I would never actually do it as the actual numbers. I would do it in. I would do it. No, too many people know that. I put it in like hexadecimal. Hexadecimal goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E.
Whoa.
So like D represents the number 15.
Oh, that'd be.
And you have to hit 16 to regroup into the next place value. I would do it like that because then no one else is going to figure that crap out. Where is the blue one?
8 8.
Oh yeah, it is both 8s. Okay. And then the domain is all of the x's. So I state all of the x's. X's, 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 x's. You better be right, because I didn't even look at it. Well, we already said, right? The collection of U4. If I swap U2, it's still the collection of U4, right? All right. The range is a set of all y's. So I'm going to go, there's a y, there's a y, there's a y, there's a y. And that phenomenon happened again. 0, 5, 8. Okay. So we've seen the graphing thing twice now. Can we do one of every type? One's in a table, one's a bunch of coordinates, one's a mapping, and one's a graph. One of each kind. Go. Write the domain and range for both. Or all of the above. Well, we're going to get there. I don't know if we're going to get there today.
Is it okay if I do it?
If you feel confident to go ahead. Tell you Ping and Pong back there have gotten burned a few times when they've gone ahead. And then come to find out that I say, oh, don't do this.
Do we just write the numbers right here, like those?
That is legit all you do. All the X's go here, the Y's go there. It isn't any tougher than that. This lesson is more about the vocabulary and remembering what coordinates are. We'll do more with it later. Okay. I like the ones that I'm seeing busting out the colors again. There's a reason that I keep switching between colors and I like color coordinate things on the board. A lot of kids over the years have told me that just makes things pop out more in the different steps. That's how I view the world. So that's how I do it. It's all colors and boxes. Yeah.
Is there an easier way to
Do the graphs without writing them all down.
You got ID, driver's license, anything like that on you?
And my truck, yeah. Not on.
Put. You run it like this. X's are left to right. So -3. There's a dot. 0. There's a dot. 2. There's dots. 3. Cool. Now do range. Come up in order. -2. Yep. -1. 3.
Yep. I may have gone a bit farther.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's right.
My brain went completely dumb this and forgot how to do number 9.
Okay. Start by writing out your coordinates. Okay.
So
Do you want to write them as coordinates or do you want to write them as a table? X, Y. Either way works. Do you want to write it like this or like this?
actually,
So that's at 3, 3. So 3, 3. There you go. Okay. Got them backwards again.
did I do something wrong?
X. Y.
Oh, right.
Yep. Like that. So you go 3, then -1.
So I just flip that. Basically.
Yep, swap them. Okay. The way that I heard it said before is you have to run before you jump. You have to go left and right before you go up and down. There you go. One last one.
For that one, yes. Because it was looking at the different ways that we've seen it to see if we
Mhm.
understood. So,
Left or right goes first. It's all right, dude. How about you? I'll actually use my finger and my pencil to track it. Especially do all the lines kind of blur together.
Yeah.
Use your pencil to actually track it.
Oh, I forgot one.
Okay. All right, that sounds like we're there, so I'm going to turbo. We'll see.
That was not funny.
Yo! Womp. Right? They already listed it for us. Okay. 8, 5, 0, don't need it again. 11, -6, 0, 7. X's, Y's. Domain. Y'all, if you can't figure that out, -2, 0, 1, 5. Range. Huh. Now, thing I was showing Landon back there says, is there an easier way to do this without listing the coordinates? There is. You get like an ID or a Qdoba gift card, something, ruler, and you set it like this, and you move it from left to right across the paper. You say, oh, -3, 0, 2. Double freeze. I don't need to write it twice. It's just a nice little trick if you don't want to write the coordinates. Okay, for range, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to move my way up the y-axis. Triple negative 2. Only write it once. Move it up. Screw you, Frank. Negative 1. Move it up. Yep. And 3. Well, there's 1, 2, 3. Okay. And most of the word problems for these, they aren't big, crazy, figure out the meaning of life word problems. They're, hey, you know what you just did? Do it again.
What?
What?
You don't want to do it.
So, how am I doing it again? 17.
No. All right. Party favors. You know, you remember like little kid birthday parties? Party favors are like the little poppers and the little things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they say quantity, what's the word quantity mean? Literally, it means number. It's the amount of a thing. So if I'm putting a table together of domain and range, I have 8 things. I have 12 things. I have 18 things. So the price that goes with them has to go with the right one. I can't say $25.99 with 8. You put the right one with the right number. You map them. If 8 favors cost this much, then write that much. If 12 favors cost this much, write that much. If 18 favors cost this much, write that much. Identify the domain and range. Hey, go all the way back to the beginning. X and Y were domain and range. What was another set of words that we used for those?
Oh, that was
What the heck?
yeah.
Input and output. So you tell me, does the amount that you pay depend how many things were in the basket?
Yeah.
Or does the amount of things in the basket depend how much you paid?
Amount of things in the basket.
No. Do I walk up to the cashier and say, here's $30, I'm going to go get stuff?
No.
Or do I get stuff and then pay the cashier?
Get stuff and then pay.
Input, output. This is my domain, this is my range. Because the number of things I get determines the price. Okay. I see number 11 through 26. I'll make you a deal. We can do that in class tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Friday. We can do that when we come into class on Friday with one rule. If you are missing things, everything in this packet except for progress check 2 should be done. Filled in, every line, every blank. I want you to use the intervening 2 days to go back and make sure that you got stuff filled in. Okay? Because you can still hand it in next time we have a quiz. You can still get credit for it. Yes, sir.
So I'll be gone Friday, so I'll have to give you this Tuesday then, because we're not school Monday either.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We got a 3-day weekend. Y'all are off Monday.